April what?
April the 5th.
5th, 2025.
2025, and I'm on my 27th day of fasting. And Carlos is...
He looks pretty damn good for that.
I feel unbelievable. I don't even know how to explain it. But I'm breathing
27 days.
So, as I was making a recording, Carlos was calling me, and I didn't want to stop the recording, but Carlos is here. This is my lovely friend.
Hello.
He came to see me.
Yes.
And
This is my first visit.
This is his first visit.
That's right. I have 4 weeks off. Today's officially, as of maybe 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago, I'm officially off on my 4 weeks, April, of a journey of no undetermined destination. So it's moment by moment now. So the first thing that comes up is I'm coming to make a little visit. Of course, this is exactly what it's meant to be. And here I am. I mean, whatever happens.
You're the first person, first friend to come to this house.
There you go. That's the big first day of my. Oh really? Ever?
Yeah.
Since you've been fasting.
Since I've lived here, no friend has come to visit me here.
Oh my gosh.
My girlfriend has come to visit me.
Okay, well,
But that's it.
That's fine.
You're the first friend. So I have been having pain in my ribs, and Carlos said, as I also, talk to ChatGPT, it's probably from like a rib, a muscle or something. It's nothing serious.
Well, you can always tell. You can tell if it's a rib, or at least you know it's a chest wall, because if it's to do with the chest wall or the ribs or the muscles, you should be able to reproduce the pain or make it worse by turning. And you told me 3 days ago you were doing some sort of breathing exercise.
Yeah.
If that involves like full inspiration, full expiration, you can potentially pull one of those ribs.
The floating rib.
I call them floating ribs because they're cartilaginous, the cartilage, and they move a bit, so they're a little bit prone to being sort of, we call it sublux, such as a fancy word for being a little bit out of place. So you might not know the pain until a little later, because you can cause a bit of once you pull it off, then your body is trying to mend it. So when the body's do is it brings on a little bit more sort of action, and then you might notice the next time when you turn again, and then you say, "Oh, what's that?" That's what it is. Yeah. Anyways, we call it sublux.
Now we're gonna make some tea. I'm
Yes.
just gonna leave it here, and then we can just do it.
Yeah, we keep going, and then you can so for 4 weeks, I'm trying to see what comes up. We're like in an incredible time right now. We are right now in some sort of very magical portal.
We always are. It's just I can see it now.
Yeah,
That's all. Like for me, from this particular perspective, it's manifesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think other people see it too from different times, different moments, different places.
Everyone I've met, everything I've done has manifested itself like a fairy. Has manifested itself like in a fairy tale. Like
I wanted to buy something for myself, but I realized that I wanted to buy it out of it was almost like a desire instead of like a pure my heart. It's been very powerful, and the planets are in a very powerful place as well right now. Aries, and even this fast, I wasn't planning to go on a fast.
Didn't plan. Hello.
I wasn't planning to go on a
Make
fast.
sure we can see each other.
I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do with this part?
What?
I'm probably not gonna keep this part because unless there's something that we want to share, but I usually just fast forward these. So it'll be in there, so
No, it's all good. You see, this stuff is useful. We got footages, we got, I'm keeping track of it, I have it our conversation is being recorded.
Nice.
And it's going to be summarized, and I will take that. One of my experiments I want to learn, is I want to know what AI could do to make films. We're going to take our conversation, I'm going to give it to AI at one point. And the rest of my 4 weeks, I'm going to interview various people doing various things, right? I'll travel the world wherever it takes me, and we'll get all those footages and stick it all into it, and I will say, just do what you can with it. See what comes up. I'll give it the video clips, so like me dancing in the sun, right? Whatever it is, jumping up and down, you know, whatever it is, you know. And then with the voice clips, and he's going to put it together. We'll see what comes out.
I've been using the program.
You let the universe figure it out. You know, AI is just all part of the universe.
Exactly.
There's nothing.
It's
I mean, there's
nature.
nothing in AI that is not nature.
It's nature.
There's nothing that you can conceive or not conceive. That's not nature. It's like people make all this separations from this.
I go to church, yes, and I put this up in one of my videos actually, and one of these gentlemen, he's been celibate his whole life, and he's put all these rules in his life, and I think to myself, I also see how it acts with people, and I also met, I think it's okay if you don't put on this thing, but I've also met people, I work out, another gentleman that works out came in, I realized that he's, I never drink, but when he said it, he's like, I wanted to feel like he's superior to others, and I realized that you can also be bad at being too good. Like,
The worst thing you can do is deny experience. That's all you need. You just need to keep experiencing life. It doesn't matter where it takes you. You just need to be genuine with it. Some of us are okay wandering. Some of us are okay to wander. Is why.
Oh, yeah.
Some of us have to wander. I understand.
And I hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
I hear what you're saying.
And we have to.
Of course, nothing is wrong. It's all perfect, just the way it is.
No.
Yes, cheers. Cheers. Thank
Do
you
you
for
want
the
any
tea.
nuts or any dried fruits or anything?
Oh, I'm good.
I don't want to make you feel guilty in front of me.
No, I would. I'm not eating nothing. You're right.
Oh man, I know. But I don't know. I've
Do you have vitamins?
Huh?
You have vitamins, potassium, magnesium,
So I'll tell you.
vitamin
I
D.
can take it to my room and show you what I take. But I take in the mornings.
Am I making noises to people?
No, not this time.
I'm a little bit noisy.
Daniela's home. I mean, the thing is, when the roommates are here, everyone's so loud. So we're not that loud. I promise you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We're so. As long as we're not sleeping, we're okay.
You're pretty loud.
Yeah.
I'm pretty.
Honestly, Carlos, I'm going to contemplate getting back to eating, but like, if I do, it's going to be very intuitive, and it's going to be, my return is going to be as sacred as my journey. So I'm just going to be listening to what I need to eat, rather than eating for. One thing I always will do is eat with people. That's sacred. You have to eat with people.
No, we need to make it closer. Is it okay if I bring it?
because you know why? They put some light on us. Because like, what you're saying is very powerful stuff. Yeah, turn on some light. Oh, we get all the footages. Yeah. Oh, that's much better. Put it down a bit more? Yeah, even closer if you can. Okay. Oh yeah, that's it. Maybe, yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. I literally just
Ordered.
It's like if you were watching an interview, like Joe Rogan's show, that's about the right size, no?
I think so. Okay. This is the Sheppard. It's so fragile, this thing.
It's okay because it's small.
It's
Right?
small.
It's meant to be
I
this
just
way.
ordered another one for the hand, so I can take it outside with me.
It's got the gimbal.
I didn't
No.
get the gimbal one.
don't need it.
It's too much.
You don't need it.
What it is, it's a stick and it opens up as well. Because I'm going to be going out on my school and I just want to be recording myself in different places all the time now.
That's a great idea.
Continuously. Like I'm not going to. It's come to that point where I love it,
April 5th, 2025. The 14th Saturday of 2025 is the beginning of my 4-week journey away from the ordinary. In that, there's no planets. The ordinary world, there's a planet. Well, in my world right now, from now on, for the next 4 weeks, there ain't no planets. It's just whatever comes up. It's called listening to the universe. That's what I do. So, we're checking again very soon.
I love it. I've been, this.
Then you don't know what comes up.
No,
It's the best way.
I've been envisioning this for the longest time. Because when I reached my 10th day, I was so like, something happened to me, and I had a friend called Carson. He's literally like us. Like he's been through so much struggle, and he's found that place. When I got off my 2-week fast in December, he doesn't drink, but he came out of nowhere into the bar. And then me and him were like energetic communication instantly. We didn't even have to talk. And then from there onwards, he was like, I go to this church. And he's not like, we go to church, but we don't stay for the whole thing. We go late, we leave early, we go into the cafeteria, and we talk like this. So we just go there for the energy of it, because it's a beautiful place and they sing, it's orthodox. but we have this conversation, and everything we talk about is just purely love. And he's also helped me with other things as well, some financial stuff, which is allowing me to break free. You know, slowly, if I do start doing some of the stuff, it's like trading, but like very helpful. Like there's courses, and these people are like very successful, and they literally just want people that are genuine to be free, to be able to have the resources to be themselves, basically, you know.
Wow.
And it's been magical.
It's magical. I would love for you to meet him. I would love for him to know because Carson is one of those souls. He's just purely from love, you know. And he's helping so many people that he loves. Like
You know what it is in the book that I wanted to explain? So there's theses, there's antitheses, there's syntheses, right? But Alivism, that ancient belief that comes from, I would say it probably comes from like the Sumerians.
Geology is the same thing. The bones that were found in Samaria is the same thing. So basically, we're all connected to that place, actually. But what it is that we're
Becoming one with nature again. Amagi, we're returning back to that nature. But you know the fourth gate that's missing from basically knowledge, finding knowledge? It's intuition, it's love.
Einstein. When Einstein was working with Mach, you know, he was working with positive stuff. And positive, he was like, oh, Mach literally quoted, if I can't see an atom, it doesn't exist. Then Einstein's heart filled up, and that's what I did.
I believe that when you reach a certain place in knowledge, then your heart starts to fill up. Then when your heart's filled up, your intuition speaks to you. That's you being one with nature. So you find you reach this enlightenment with knowledge. It doesn't matter how you reach it. There's no rule. The journey continues.
Einstein went on a whim and followed his intuition and joined Max Planck, who his theories were all based on stuff that he didn't understand because it was his intuition. Right? That's what it is. We're just connecting to our love, to the mother that continuously is giving us everything. It's non-stop.
We call it, you become a drop in the ocean and you become the ocean. Becoming the ocean.
You need to put everything you say into ChatGPT. You know why?
Yes.
You know why?
I do.
Why? You know,
Tell
for
me.
me, my opinion, I mean, sorry, I don't mean I'm right or wrong. I'm just saying what I think, that's all. Because this information will become the collective wisdom
Yes.
that's shared.
Yes.
That means a little bit of what you just said energetically, that piece of information, whatever that is you call it, it gets diffused out
Yes.
through the silicon connection.
It's gonna go on, everything's gonna go on YouTube. I'm gonna put some soul in
You
this.
should put
This
as
is
much
help.
in, yeah, put it up. Oh, yeah. And put your potassium.
Huh?
Do you have potassium? Oh, those are sea
I have
salt?
potassium chloride.
Yeah, you stick it in there.
Should I run up and get some?
You should put both. A little bit of sodium, a little bit of
What
potassium.
about magnesium?
Do both. You should always
And
put
magnesium?
it in.
Okay.
Yeah, do them all. You know what? Universe is just play tricks with you all day.
Of course.
It's just like a comedy.
It is a
It tells you when you don't expect it, you get it. When you think you lose it, you get it back.
Yes.
And then now you expect this. Basically, just fucking you all day until you decided that I just have no fucking clue.
Yes. I surrender. You are you. I don't have to try to know you.
It's like whatever you predict. Remember, that's your imagination. We just forget.
Exactly.
We forget what imagination is. It's ain't reality. It's just created by this. Ain't nothing else except the here and now.
It's the here and now. And
People in the past didn't have that problem. They didn't have so much knowledge to loop them out of their mind,
Yes.
out of the present moment.
yes.
But we are going through this whole journey. The more you know, the harder it is to stay in the moment.
Yeah.
But
The voice is
but
louder, man.
the salvation is that it's disappointments. You get disappointed enough, eventually you're not the 12-year-old that thinks you're 22.
Till you're disappointed enough that you don't care and you reach that place.
You just I have no clue, okay?
The journey's gonna take you there either way. You're gonna reach there because one thing we're all promised is the same place we came from. And you reach there.
Yep.
Eventually. Whether you like it or not, however
I
much.
think, who knows? Maybe that moment you go to NDE for, everything is very clear.
for you.
Because you really have to give up. And time has no meaning, therefore, you don't need a lot of time. Whether you die in 10 seconds or die in a microsecond, it makes no difference. Second means nothing. In that awareness just knows everything in that moment. It comes out of that illusion. It sees reality just the way it is. When you see reality just the way it is, it's like all clear.
Which way is real?
Without It's not a book to read. It's not encyclopedia. It's just
No.
everything. Our knowledge is just all part of this big piece that you suddenly appreciate fully.
Appreciation and awe.
All of it.
Of all.
Just like, okay. That's like this. Because you cannot be expressed by anything except the feeling. Of everything just the way it is. That's good. Visualizing, that doesn't give you the runs.
I heard ChatGPT said that this is the best option for magnesium.
Yeah, I'm all chat man. I changed my name to Chatless.
Chatless?
Chatless.
Chatless.
Chatless. Chatless.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
You know,
but
I actually said ChatGPT. I was
Chatless.
like, how will we start
Chatless.
communicating once I don't send you words?
Always say, how do we communicate once I don't send you words no more? What?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I wonder what Chat said. Maybe never
It
been
was
given that.
complicated.
Huh?
I can't exactly repeat that, but he said, you know, I need certain algorithms and words.
Oh, he couldn't explain it to you. You didn't know.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Any acidic compounds will give you, see, you've got citric acid, you've got tartaric acid, and then you've got malic acid. So by putting enough acid around, okay, you can say that there's a lot of hydrogen ions. But like acid, like there's acid, okay. So I guess you don't consume much hydrogen, okay. It's hard to, well, chemistry, chemically, what I know, my knowledge is based on what I've learned in chemistry. That's all. But in terms of chemistry, that's just hydrogen ions. So in that solution right now, there's a pH. Right? pH basically the amount of hydrogen that's hanging around. The rest of that's attached to H2O. The H2O is hydrogen and hydrogen oxygen. Those two things together, yes, makes H2O. Okay, chemistry. Yeah, do you remember that stuff? Maybe it's like quite a bit of that stuff. It's good, right? There's hydrogen, so you do it look with it, like you do it with these molecules. Some of them are hanging around like couples, just like some are singles and they're couples. Yes, just like that. Some of them are stuck together, hydrogen, which is HO. Let's say this is female and this is male. Some of them are couple, some of them are singles. Okay, so most of them. So what happens is it depends on the population. So if there's mostly, let's say you're in China, there are a lot of mostly just boys, not enough girls, right? That's pretty funny example actually. Then this solution is called very basic, or the acidic if you will. Okay, and there's a lot of boys and not enough girls. And we would prefer that one way. Now we would like that, but that's not good. It's opposite way, like more girls, less boys is better for us. Yeah. And then that would be more basic. And then funny, I didn't teach chemistry like this. I could be a chemistry teacher. All the kids would be paying attention to me. Would we not be boring at all? Like, let me back out of the story. What everybody's not. I could have had more of a chemistry class. What you learn today, and you have chemist kids trying to depopulate the male populations. Right? So we hydrogen ion with a hydrogen oxide ion. So if you put mostly hydrogen, more hydrogen ion.
And then you have the H2O that's coupled with a lot of extra, let's say, girls around. Now that is acidic. That would be acidic. That would be an acidic solution. So that's what you got. You got this basically, this vitamin, you put that in water, and just, you're gonna have, because of those acids, you see,
This is
right? Or malic acid, that means there's a lot of extra girls around.
That's why my body's so happy.
No wonder you're so Take that down. Take that
What do I
down.
mean?
That's called chemistry class, okay? Khan's Academy's got nothing on us here.
No.
No, you want to listen to this, kids.
This is cosmic breaking. Forget about the ground. We're going beyond dimensions right now. Time, space, forget about the curvature. We are the curvature right now.
The curvature.
That's what it is, consciousness as well. Consciousness has the curvature, you know? And the more you, especially the more, it doesn't matter, but the more in connection and the more aligned you are, the more you are wielding that naturally. And you cannot do it by thinking. As you said, it's all experiential, you know? You don't learn. You just allow it to be. People try to find external ways for things, you know? But it's all inside. And it's usually the hardest way. You kind of have to suffer a little bit. That's all it is. But it is up to you what you think is suffering. You know, it's up to you to feel what you think is hard, because that's also just perspective. But it shouldn't be easy, is what I mean. You know.
Yeah. You have to make it hard to make it easy.
Yeah. Yes. You have to make it hard to make it easy. Some paradoxes. So these are the paradoxes.
In order to make hard and easy, you have to make it together. Otherwise, there's nothing.
Yeah. Word.
There's no awareness. You have to make something up.
Mm.
You have to forget things are easy before you can get it hard. And then you have to remember once again. You don't have to. How easy it is. So eventually, it's not hard or easy. It's just both.
It's just both.
Or nothing.
Yeah.
Both and nothing at the same time.
Yes. Ways on both sides.
Very beautiful. It's so incredibly elegant and complete.
A wave and a match. When this fast came on, my body just was rejecting food. Not in a bad way. I was waking up feeling so connected. I was hearing and feeling everything. And then I take lion's mane. I could take a lot of it, and it was very beneficial because I have used a lot of drugs when I was young, and my brain wasn't the best. Okay, and because I abused benzos a lot.
Which one?
Benzodiazepines.
Benzos. Oh yeah.
And my brain was kind of fried a little bit. But though that brought my brain back.
No more benzos.
No.
Damn.
Last time I took a benzo was probably 2019.
Huh.
Yeah.
Historical.
I don't use anything. I don't need anything.
Me either.
I don't even need food.
You can fast eating nothing. You know Siddhartha, the story of Siddhartha?
Yeah.
You
I
know?
can fast. I only eat like liquids. I only eat the things I grow. I only eat when I'm in nada with people a little bit, you know, just take them. And only just like a few bites. Yeah, that's all I would eat. Because now that I'm fasting, everything I take, I can feel the effects of them. Like I used to take 9 tablets of this a day. Up to 3 grams, because I did research and I know people could do it. And I know it helped my brain. Like the first year or 2 years of taking it, interesting things started happening with my memories. And it still happens. I start remembering dreams from when I was like a baby. And I'm like,
Dreams.
why am I remembering that dream? And I know that it was when I was then. And I'm getting flashbacks of when I was a kid. I'm like, this is interesting. Like my memories actually, it made my memory really
Distinct.
lion's mane, yeah. Which is, we don't really need it, but it's also connecting things that you don't need to connect, and I'm remembering things. Now, I didn't take one for the first, let's say, it's been over a month. So well, it's gonna be a month, right? Since I've been fast. Well,
Can I take one and see what happens?
yeah, take as many as you want. I have like another container this upstairs, and they become like.
How many should I take?
You can take up to 3, 4. There's all. But you know, now I take like.
Let's see what happens.
Now I take, because all these university students are taking this as well. But the ones that know, for example, my friends, mom who's a neuroscientist,
Is this psychedelic?
it's funny. It's actually classed as a psychedelic, but it doesn't make you trip.
No.
No,
I just
no.
let's
it's
just
not.
get psychedelic.
No, it's not gonna.
This things.
I trip on
Like you
breathing.
never know. Exactly. You can trip on just about anything when you don't expect it. When the universe
Do you know
wants you
Alice
to
and
trip, you're
Wonderland
gonna
Syndrome
trip.
is?
Hmm?
Sorry to cut you off. Yeah. Would you just say that one again? Sorry, I cut you off.
I said when the universe wants you to trip, you'll trip.
Exactly.
It could be anything.
That's down
It
there.
could be just kick your toes.
Cosmic
It could
information.
be anything.
I suffered from Alice and Wonderland Syndrome, Carlos, when I was a kid. So did my sister. There's no label. Doctors didn't know what it was. Time didn't make sense. I lived in a very non.
You and your sister did.
Yes.
It's beautiful. But that ain't no suffering. That ain't no syndrome.
But it
That's
I didn't know how to explain it to my mom. I felt like I was.
Your sister had it.
My sister had it.
And
as
you
well.
two can talk to each other about it.
Yes.
You both knew.
We didn't know till recently. My sister knew because the doctors diagnosed her. I was telling her, I was like, Melissa, I felt like I was in a dream for the longest time. And it would happen to me for months. Sometimes I'll be stuck there and then shape sometimes. I used to trip a lot because I used to have migraines, but even without the tripping, I'd see things.
But did you take chemicals to trip or you just trip on your own? You just trip?
No, I was a kid, just seeing things constantly.
You get migraines?
I used to get severe migraines. My mum used to.
Was it just before the migraine comes that you would trip?
With and without.
Without the migraine? you
Yeah,
would trip.
weeks away from
What,
migraines.
how old were you?
Since I was maybe 6 years old.
Since you're 6 years old, you used to get it.
Yeah.
You would trip.
Yeah.
When you say you trip, it means like almost like a dream state or something.
I'm awake and I'd see someone there, and someone will come and play around with me, or there's a shadow person,
Yeah.
or there's like interesting people running around.
Yeah. When you're 6,
yeah.
like you didn't get any chemicals, obviously.
No.
And you, right.
And then and then it would also feel like I'm in a dream state. I didn't know how to explain it, but shapes and
No, I get it. It's just like you're on a
interesting.
trip.
Yeah.
Just like you're on a trip, you see patterns and this stuff, right?
Like I spent a lot of time with my sister, but it was like I spent time with her in my dream, and I also spent time with her when I was like very young, and then I begged my mum for a sister.
Oh, she's younger than you.
Yeah, and then she gave me a sister when I was almost 4 years old, and she named.
Oh, so this started even before you're
Yeah.
6
Yeah.
and you used to trip.
Yeah,
Before 6,
yeah,
because you were 4 when the baby came, right?
Yeah.
So before then, you say, "Oh, mom, I want a sister,"
yeah.
and the sister came.
And then there was some weird paranormal kind of stuff happening when I was a kid, and my mum took me to a fortune teller, and the fortune teller didn't let me go inside the house apparently, and said this kid is not allowed here. He's someone who will find his own journey. He has a story to tell to the world, and jewelry. Everyone that came to our house, their jewelry went missing, and my mum. So people were like, "What's happening? We don't understand." They're gold, and the earrings were missing. It was like happening regularly, like to a lot of people, and that's why my mum was like, "This is like," and she was like, I don't know what she said. I can't remember what she said about me, but she was like, "He was an interesting kid. He was like, you'd say stuff like very much like your grandfather would, for example." And it didn't make sense, so we were just a little, worried. But yes, but then I guess I got lost within all that stuff, because I also grew up in a very rough neighborhood
Where?
in London, East London,
Oh, East London.
East North London, and it was.
So how do you mean people come and jewelry goes missing? They stay with you?
When I was a baby, we were Turkish for one, so our hospitalities. You come to a house, you can sleep over our house. It doesn't matter. It's yours.
Yeah.
Turkish people have that hospitality. They would obviously take their stuff off sometimes. I don't know the stories, but my mom would say, since she was a baby, till your sister was born, a lot of people's jewelry just kept going missing. And it's like we would check places and stuff, and we could never find it. We locked toilets to know that you didn't flush it down the toilet, or we took extra precautions, but then we could never find their jewelry. I don't know. Why? Did I do something?
What's it got to do with you? You're only 4 years old.
Exactly. But
You
they
can't
had a
exactly
suspicion
eat
was
it.
me. Yeah.
Huh?
They had a suspicion it was me.
But if you took it, what would you do with it?
Exactly. What would I do?
If
with
you
it?
were like having a whole bunch of English pounds hanging around, you didn't have that, so it's like, what would you do with a 4-year-old with money?
And I was never material, because I had a very strange thing with materialism. I never understood it. I never understood ego as well. Even
That makes sense.
thinking about it now, it took me a very long time. I was always classed as a weirdo a little bit, because I never fit in. Because I could never talk and make those jokes, and I could never be sexual. And I was never sexual for the longest time. It took me a very long time, because I was like, a woman for me was like, or my other half, I was a kid, and my cousin, she was like my wife, and I treated her like my wife, and that for me was natural. I never was girlfriend stuff, and I didn't have one until I was like 20. So it didn't really suit me or anything. But
Just didn't feel like that.
no,
And no ego. Your ego is very, your sense of self, very different than the ordinary.
yeah, it's like, as I grew, I grew one. As I grew older, I grew one naturally, because you have to kind of fit in, and I had to have one. But till I was in secondary school, that's when things really started. I didn't understand what ego was, but I started to kind of build something like that, and it was all very fantasy based. I didn't know who I was, so I'm trying to create who I was, but I had to, because I'm going to an all boys school. But before that, I'm like, my mum's buying stuff and I'm giving it away, and she's getting annoyed. She's like, "You own stuff, things are yours." So, but then I'm trying to hold things, because my mum's being aggressive towards me.
So you learn to be the other way.
Yeah, I was born left-handed, for instance. My mum forced me to be right-handed, and I went back to school and became left-handed, and then I was between left and right. I could draw like anything, but now I've kind of forgot.
Oh, really?
Because my mum was very aggressive towards me. Like she would beat me to learn, until I was like 19. Well, actually, tell a lie, till I was like 29, 28, when I kind of like, I went through a rough patch in my life. I didn't want to live because I became, you know, involved in a lot of stuff in like a fast life, and I was like, I hated myself for the longest time, and I didn't want to live. And then I became this.
At 19?
At 20, 27, 28, I'm going through an awakening period.
What year was that?
2006.
Oh, okay. About 19.
Yeah, I'm leaving like all this fast life, making fast money, and I hated myself because I remember looking at myself in the mirror and saying, I became the person I hated because I grew up in this neighborhood where I was afraid of you know, of seeing people being involved in stuff that didn't make sense to me. Why would they hurt each other? Go to the extent of taking each other's lives for certain things. It never made sense to me. When I left London, I was like, well, we didn't leave London, we moved to the suburbs, and it was a nice area. And I remember where I was so traumatized that I lived with weights, 2.5 kilograms here and 5 kilograms for 2 years. I didn't take them off because I was waking up at 4 every morning, training, and I was like doing like Kung Fu training, kickboxing training, and I was going to school and then coming back and then going to the gym, and I was so active, like so active. I remember people that were like professional people, like in boxing or athletes, they would look at them and say, you're training too much. There's something called too much. And my body was creating so much creatine, I had insomnia for 3 months. So I had this level of discipline that wasn't even discipline. It was like I was hurting myself to forget about the past. Then I've never done any substance. I'm 19 and I've kind of got into a love thing, I guess. It was more lust. And then I go out with my friends and they're doing MDMA. I've never done any drug. I've done it and a colourful side of me starts coming out.
That was what, 19?
Like going on 20.
20,
I was even 19, I was 20, early 20s. And I'd never done any substance. I hadn't even drunk alcohol or cigarettes, anything. And then I'm this colourful kid. I've grown my hair and wearing ugly, colourful pink shirts, which coming from like a rough hood neighbourhood, it was like very frowned upon. I never even listened to rock music and I loved it because everyone was listening to rap. And then this colourful side comes out of me, but also my traumas come out of me. And then my cousins from London, they're like, okay, you know, they're around drugs, so I'm around like substances, and I'm like, okay, I can start making money. And then I'm all of a sudden, you know, in the fast life. And I lived that like on and off. I lived that for like 5-6 years, till about 2026. So it was 2016, rather, sorry. And then I remember I reached a point where I hate myself. I remember looking in the mirror and I didn't want to live. And I was like, oh, codeine, drinking codeine, smoking so much weed. I didn't do much of other drugs, but like benzos was definitely my thing. And I tried to even kill myself like 3 times.
2026.
And
2016.
I was so depressed. So I'd moved back to my parents' house after living like a life of living in hotels and having luxury vehicles continuously, not just for me but for everyone. And then I meet this girl. And my grandfathers, Arab or Shuk, their name was, they're sheikhs, which means they're the descendant of Baba Mansur. Bektash is a mystic, and they say he's a part of Sufi mysticism. The thing is, these mystics are not a part of any religion. They're just lovers of the truth. They love to heal people
like
with music. Rumi studied with my ancestors, yes. He studied with the dervishes. So they were all poets, and they went around singing music of love about the universe. And it was a quantum-based spirituality. So there's no label to it actually. It's innate or intrinsic spirituality. Even that doesn't make sense. But so these guys, my grandfathers, there were two of them. One of them's like very pure. He doesn't care about knowledge, but like, and there's a lot of stories about what they've done. I'm probably not going to get into it, but they did some interesting things. Forget about healing people. They were like able to move things and I mean big things. And they were healing people inside mountains, from what my dad knows, using the rocks and the frequencies of certain stones. Because my dad's very deep into this stuff, and he's an archaeologist, and he like has connections with a lot of professors in London, in Turkey. One of the grandfathers who had the knowledge, he believed that his family was cursed with knowledge. And what he did was, and his family, they are all very successful in business, but they all like are very conniving against one another. So his prediction was exactly as it was, because he knew that, he could see things timeless. But he went and gave his knowledge to this village, and this village was not too far from our village. And I met a girl during my suicidal period who's from that village in 2016. And she was the epitome of that mind and that embodied that spirit. And we met a week before COVID. We kind of fell in love. We lived in Amsterdam, and then we lived in Rotterdam. We did mushrooms. I kind of got off everything. And then we found out our first cousin's married to our first cousin. And she's also...
You two are first? Oh, your first cousins are married to each other.
And that she's from the village. And I did in retrospect, this is making sense. And she was diagnosed with severe borderline disorder. And I loved her throughout that. And like, it was very painful because we were on eggshells continuously, but she woke me up from that depressing period. I got to like really, she was abusive to me physically as well. She would, say she's going to be with people, but that broke my ego to a perfect place. She brought me to a place where I learned to love no matter how much pain someone gave me.
Yeah.
I learned to be with her.
I get that.
No matter how much she... And we had to break up because it wasn't working. Like, she was just getting worse and worse. Because all I was giving was, I was already such a deep empath and lover. All I'm doing is giving her love, and she's just going deeper and deeper. When we met, she was like voluptuous. She just had some surgery and stuff. And when she had her surgery, she wanted it to also like, she got surgery a few times, and the doctor said, you have a chance of losing, like risking your life. And she wanted it, she didn't care. So I moved back to London, and I'm like, I'm this person. I'm working multiple jobs, I'm helping my mum. I'm like, my mum's like got an extension of the house. I literally took down one part of the house myself. I'm also working like another job, like an hour apart from one another. My friend who's half Filipino, half English, has two sons. One was 8, one was 5 at the time. She couldn't take care of them, and the older one was taking care of the younger one. The social services wanted to take them. I've fostered the kids. I'm doing like, I'm just living my life, I'm not on anything. I'm just like journaling. I'm writing. My spiritual self is so awake. I've got house.
This is after Amsterdam. You
Yes.
moved back to
A year
London
and a
with
half.
her.
We lived in Turkey. From Amsterdam, we lived in Turkey.
And then you came back.
Yeah, she kept chasing me. Even till now, she's still like after me kind of thing. But it's been years.
Well, you broke up after Turkey.
Yes.
And then you moved back to London, and you became this sort of you just help many people.
Yeah.
Right?
Help myself, help people at the same time.
You woke up at that point. You started like some serious turn in your journey.
Yeah.
Because after that very painful period, it's like, whoa, you had to break up. So from Turkey, you went back to London.
Yeah.
And that's 2020.
That's 2019 to 2020.
Just before COVID.
That's 2020.
So you went back to London during COVID?
2021.
During COVID?
During COVID. She was very smart and she was very spiritual, but she was also very indoctrinated by Christianity, which there's nothing wrong with that. But she was like...
Do I know this girl?
Maybe.
Oh my God, I might know this. You live in Toronto?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
She came out of nowhere, 2022, again. And then also done a fast. And I'm guessing, I'm just checking.
Fast?
She'd also done a fast and she'd become thin. From being this voluptuous, zap thick figure.
When did she fast?
I'm not too sure, but she fasted in 2022 and she came to me on April a little before my birthday, where I booked a flight to go to India, to southern India, to Kerala to be precise, because I just finished reading a book from a lady called Arundhati Roy. She's a female activist, and the book's name is God of Small Things. It's to do with two dizygotic twins and their brother and sister. Their mum is a single mum, so she goes through the struggle, and she kind of has an affair with someone from a darker caste, and the kids have to witness all this struggle of a mum being beat by police, like her family kind of neglecting her because her husband has left her, and then they find out that the darker man gets killed in front of the kids break up, and then they get back together at the end, and they're brother and sister, but the journey is insane, and they end up having sex, and the boy hadn't spoken a word in years, but they end up in the same position as they were in the room. And I know it sounds weird, but like I was emotional when I heard the story, and I was moved, and I really wanted to go to India, so I did. So I booked my flight to go there, you know. And hello,
Hey,
Danny. This is Carlos. Carlos, this is
Hi, it's funny when he was walking inside, he said, he said Dominican Republic. I don't know why I mentioned that. He said something to do with DR, yeah, he said something about DR. Oh, right. I was just there, that's what I did. Yeah, I was there. My son went to buy a place up in Samana, you know what that is? So he had this idea he's going to buy something in the mountains. Wow. There's a place called Lemon, L-Lemon, you know what that is? Horses, creeks. There, the coast, up, and it amazes me how you survive in Canada when you come from such a beautiful country. I hate it, yeah. Oh, is that right? You just gonna take long enough to get a passport to go back home or somewhere? I've been living in for 2 years, I think. I've been here 10. What? Where are you going next? When you get to Europe, I would say that. Yeah, Europe, explore Europe. Because once you experience that, this place makes so much more sense. I realize you need to know the contrast. It's the same, remember? Because this is like, Europe was a highly civilized, it's been evolved into this, and it's like when you experience that, this place makes so much more sense. It does. Yeah. Listen, I went to stay for 2 weeks and I'm like, don't really have to go. Yeah. Oh, you left Barcelona? I did, I went there. I've been to Spain, now I'm trying to go to Germany and Spain. And I can't get an appointment to get a visa, so I sit everywhere in my computer right here. Shut easy, I'm just like, refresh. You're hard up there. What is about the place that draws you back? To Europe or to Germany? And I like how they don't give anything. Yeah. And it's not about it, yeah. Also, they want fun as well. Yeah. And also I've only been to Spain, so it's like, I just want to keep going to see if I like it. Because you're different. Every country's different. Like, when I was 19 to 25, I was living in LA, so it was great. And then so I'm like, oh no, LA, I should probably like start going and see if I like it. And then that's what I was doing in Vancouver. And then every like November, I would go for 3 weeks, and I'm like, this sucks. I don't like it here. I don't live here anymore. So that's when I knew that it don't really matter. So we're not. And it was just like, oh, I'm not saying I want to live in Europe, but like, but maybe, you know, like I was going to Italy for like the summer, and go to like Italian classes and just like learn Italian. Yeah. And fluent is one thing, and I'm like, but I was watching, I was say like, you don't even Italian because my camera's so so I look. How do you do that? How I what? Have you done doing this? No, I don't have to. I know that's what's gonna happen. My entire house is my mom, my dad, and everyone. Oh, that's so much. Yeah, my ears, my nose. Because my girlfriend, she's Mexican. Yeah, but you know what come out on her DNA test? Well, it's for the bomb. Yeah. So does it. I mean, probably Italian, very close too. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, how close they are. Look at the food is so similar. We have Mediterranean diet. The tacos are Middle Eastern. Yeah, so close. Genetically, probably very similar. Kind of makes sense. So like, the Middle Eastern Dominican is like, why would you ever? Yeah. That's why I've seen so many like Turkish or Middle Eastern people have like great relationships with Latinos because it's so comparable. And it's sometimes it kind of works better because it's kind of boring sometimes being the exact same. But when you have something a little different, but it resonates with the blood, it's like I don't know, it spices things up. You know? And the Dominican Republic's same island as Haiti. Yeah. People from Haiti are very interesting too. Yeah. Very interesting folks down there. There's some really aristocratic, very educated folks. Yeah, the whole country, the island, the island, it's like so cool. It's the first island that was sort of the Europeans showed up, right? Isn't it? Really? Yeah. It's the first Spanish colony ever. Correct. Because it's the biggest. So we can probably and they got a lot of very old buildings there in the history. Wow. And Haiti is like, you know, I know it's very 49 now, but once upon a time it's like some of the people I meet from Haiti, it's like, whoa. You know, they come from very, like the lineage that they have. No, it's like day and night, now it's just like places trash right now. That's why it's really, like, I know, there's some history there, it's beautiful. Because I've already come to Canada. The only other place I've been in this continent is Brazil. That was beautiful. Like, I haven't explored any of the other places. My girlfriend's Mexican. I've never been. Did you say your girlfriend's Mexican? Yeah, Daniel is Mexican. My girlfriend. This one, yeah. I'm not Canadian. The one's Turkish. Chinese, Turkish, Kurdish. She comes, she's Kurdish. Yeah, Chinese, Turkish, Kurdish.
As I was saying, you know, she came from the village where my grandfather. So we believe that we can.
Oh,
I don't know how this works, but we believe that this Gnostic knowledge that's passed down, they can pass it down to other people if they believe it's right. And it's done, I don't know, maybe done by a ritual. So I've been celibate for a little while now, which is sad because it kind of, you know, it was a bit thing on my relationship because my girlfriend is young and, you know, she sees things differently. So mine and Daniela's relationship is so organic. Like, because I'd reached this place of just like being purely myself and being happy, like I got to meet someone that was
that's incredible.
it was like Mine and Daniela's relationship and love doesn't make any sense. But there's a lot that just, like, there's just a lot of deja vus, there's a lot of visions with her, and I can't help it. And it's just, and she gets it as well. When people see me and Daniela, they're like, are you two related? It's like, people feel that instantly. And
you guys got some special bond.
exactly.
But
We look alike, we feel alike. I came here by chance. Helene brought me here. Because when Helene came out,
here, Helene brought you here.
Helene and I hadn't seen each other for over
But I thought you guys broke up.
We did, for over a year. But she came out of nowhere, completely skinny.
From where? I mean,
From
you were
Canada?
where? You were in
I'm in
London,
UK.
UK, and then she shows up.
2022.
Mm-hmm.
He shows up on the 2nd of April 2022 out of nowhere, and she's so skinny and there's no aggression to her, but there was something strange because she was still very pushy and very adamant, and she didn't understand the language that we don't love, like we've been broken up for so long, like it's not the same. But she was like, why don't you love me? Why don't you? And this time I felt sorry for her, and I've never, my whole time, like knowing her for that 2 years, I'd never felt like that level of sorrow for her. So I'm like, okay.
She didn't really show her weak spot. She was so tough all the time, right?
Yes.
But this time she's like, whoa, what happened to her?
Yeah, because she fasted, it changed something.
Maybe she was depressed.
And maybe she was depressed.
Mm-hmm.
And then she tried to take me to this church called Hillsong. That's kind of when I started to explore the musical side, because I was doing a lot of praying and I was more into this Christian stuff, and I started to then sing more to God rather than just pray. I started to sing, and then dancing came into play, but wouldn't leave me. And the only way I could convince her to leave me was, if you return back to Canada, I'll follow you there. But like, we don't love each other, just understand.
She's from Canada?
She's Canadian.
He's Canadian.
Yes, that's why I came here.
Oh, okay.
She, I booked my flight here, I came here, I booked a place in Airbnb for us.
But you were on your way to India at the time.
I had to cancel that.
Oh, you canceled that one. Gotcha.
And I came here, and I'm here. I spent time with her. And
You've been here since 2022.
April 4th I came here, 2022.
Oh, that was just yesterday. 3 years ago.
3 years ago. It's good. Oh, it was 3 years ago yesterday. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Today's April 5th.
And
No, you've been here 3 years.
yeah, I've been here 3 years.
And then you were together with her for a bit.
2 days. 2.5 days. It's strange actually. Me and my mum were talking about this. My mum really didn't want me to come here. She said, you're going to get hurt. You know what, like,
April 6th.
bless her,
That's
you know.
tomorrow.
Her mum is. I came here. I was with her for about 2.5 days, and it was excruciating. And my mental health, my mental health was rocking. So I booked I rented a car and I came down to Toronto, and I'm like,
From where?
from Richmond Hill.
Oh, you lived there.
Yeah, in an
With her?
Airbnb for 2 days.
Or Airbnb.
I still had like a week and a half left, but I just left it to her.
But she was from here.
Yeah, but she didn't have a place. So
Oh.
she was trying to like
Yeah.
get her own place, because she was like moving around and stuff. Still like microdosing every now and then. I hadn't taken anything for a while, but while I'm like searching around, I've got enough money, because I found this company. It's 2022 still, and they were just doing deliveries. But I was also looking at their website, and they were also uploading like forums and articles, and they were very passionate, mother and daughter. I didn't know it was mother and daughter till like 6 months after working for them. They were very secretive about it, and they were very secretive about the whole.
You thought it was a man and a
operation.
woman. That's all you know.
Well, I knew that they were a younger lady and an old lady, because me and the owner got along. We had a bond instantly. She was also nice. We're building this thing together in
Building
the
what?
market. Like, it's a business where the delivery. I was first the website development, then I was doing like office work, doing all the office work for them. So there's a lot of delivery stuff happening.
What were they selling?
Mushrooms.
Oh, psychedelics. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But we were
Like magic mushrooms, yeah.
But we were like making capsules as well. Psilocybin goes deep into your mind and accesses the psychedelic part. It activates parts of your brain that we normally don't use. Well, we normally don't, but you know, we do for us now.
Yeah.
But psilocybin enhanced that, and with lion's mane, it allowed it to stay there
Right.
for more. And the niacin allows it to cross the barriers. So I found this company where the people that bought this of us, the people that had bought this of us, some of these people were like professors,
Of the
and
bought from you.
doctors.
I got you.
Because there's a man who was after COVID, he'd gone through this OCD thing where he couldn't even get out. He had a mask on this whole time, but those capsules helped him break free of that.
Yeah.
He
Of
didn't
course you
need too
will.
much. But a lot of people also just needed love and empathy, and I gave that to them. That was my place there.
What did you do? You
I
got a
went around to
counter,
people's houses.
So
I sat down with them. No, it was all online, but we also delivered. And they got me into delivering after. They saw that Sheppard, he works like a horse. He's beyond trustworthy. He's a level of honest that we can. So this got to show me that no matter how good people were, that when they met a really good person, that they would use them. And I got used somewhat. They paid me enough. She was always kind of upset. I really went out of my way. I was doing.
always upset. What do you mean?
She was upset because she wasn't paying me enough. So she was kind of ashamed that I was working so much at one point. You know, I was doing like a 7-man operation. At times I wasn't even sleeping, Carlos. Like even on the last day, like they left me to do a delivery, but they also left me with the office phone. Then they left me with the office keys. None of this stuff should be combined, because if anything happens and I get into trouble, I'm like the person who's running the whole thing. That day I actually wrote a letter and I said, I cannot, like I'm physically and mentally exhausted. I cannot do this anymore. And as I'm heading out for the delivery, it's very late at night, I've got the phone on me and I've got the keys on me. I could have left the keys or on the phone, but I'm so exhausted, Carlos. I'm on an electric bike and the battery runs out. And as I reach there, I can see police there, and I'm witted because I've been around that stuff so many times, but I was just so tired. I didn't care. Even when I gave the mushroom to the guy, someone came and hugged me from behind, saying police. It took me so long to reach there. I was just happy to be hugged. That's how tired I was. I was doing something I believed in, because I helped literally like hundreds of people, going to them.
What day was that?
It was March. I think that was like March the 3rd or something.
March the 3rd?
Yeah.
2020.
2023, I believe that was. Yeah.
So by then, let's say April the 6th, 2022 is when you broke up again.
We wasn't together.
No,
I
know.
came here
I'm
not
just
being in a
joking,
relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to clear that up. 'Cause I definitely.
No, I get it. But you moved a continent for her.
But she
Just
moved.
saying.
She moved to London, just like 3 times. So
Anyways,
like
there was
it
enough
was-
for you to
and it was, I
get
guess.
up and cancel India.
Yeah, you're right. You know what it was? I also did kind of want to experience Canada.
Look fair.
Something
April
inside me.
2022, and it was 2023 March 25.
Yeah, 9 months, I guess. Right?
March 25.
Yeah.
April to March. Not quite. 11 month.
23
2023.
March.
March 2023. March 25th.
I got arrested.
25th.
3rd of March.
3rd of March.
Yeah. It was around the 3rd of March I got arrested, I believe.
April the 4th you moved. April the 3rd.
2022 I moved.
20,
And then 9
April
months.
the 4th. April the 6th you broke up from Helene. Right? 2022. And then March
3rd,
the 3rd.
I get arrested.
You get arrested. Okay, so that sounds okay. Adventure, more adventure. Perfect.
Yeah. It doesn't end
It's
there.
beautiful.
It
Okay.
doesn't end. It keeps going. I mean, I was booked, arrested.
And then? Did you have to go in the slammer for a bit? Or no?
Yes, I was there for like over a night.
Okay,
and
overnight. What was
I
that?
don't know what's going on. I knew I just had to say no comment. And I said no comment. They were annoyed. They took my belongings. Actually, I'm getting my belongings back on Monday. Can you believe it? My phone and a bit of money that they took off me.
March 3rd, that was 2023. This is 2025.
Yeah.
We're now April's Monday. This is going to be the 8th, I think.
Yeah.
I know, right? Today is the 5th.
Today's the 5th.
So it's 6th.
So on the 8th.
7th.
I get
Monday, the 7th, you get it back.
I get my stuff back.
April 7th, you'll get it back. And that is 2 years. 2 years and 4 days.
2 years and 4 days. So
I love it. What a story.
I'm arrested. I'm not allowed to go back. Oh, I found this place to live in, and how I found it was from this guy. And he was such a free guy, walking barefoot everywhere. He like didn't believe in anything. He was the original psychedelic monkey, but he was an alcoholic, and his dad was an alcoholic, and he did a lot of GHB. And he literally wanted me to be around him so I can help him. But he was also somewhat borderline losing it. And his dad was also an alcoholic. They wake up drinking their vodka like every morning.
But they wanted a bit of mushroom to see if they can help
They wanted
them.
me next to them. I kind of helped them with mushrooms as well, but I was like more like loving.
Once they met you,
Yeah. I was loving.
you were the real drug.
Yes, they wanted that.
You grounded them.
I did. I helped them a lot.
You helped them
The
feel
dad.
like they're.
The dad, I used to help him. Like I was certainly worried about him because he'd go and not come back for days, and he'd defecated himself, and he'd come back. He'd broken his head open. So I would follow him, but he would go and hang out in front of the Dollarama on College Street in Parkdale, and I felt sorry for him. So I was going out of my way, but I was still stupid because this is the first part of your awakening. You become a little gullible. I used to clean his dad.
Oh, shit.
I would like wash him, like in the shower. The poo I used to wash off him. Anyway, but he started to get a little crazy. So me and Dad, 2 weeks later, I'm walking his dad home, and this is, she sees me. She didn't exactly recognize me then, but she sees me with an older man and says, "Hey, how you doing?" So she's just being kind to a guy.
Safe.
Yeah, because I guess she felt safe. And I said, "Hey, hi." We talked a little bit, and I was like, next day I'm walking back from work, I see her again, and I said, "Hey." And the third or fourth day I was like, "Can I walk you home sometime?" And I waited for her, and I walked her home. A few days I walked her home, and we had these deep conversations, and we're like, wow, my spiritual practices were just beginning. I was just beginning to find myself. So that love has kept getting in the way, and it didn't work. It's why we spend so much time away from one another. She understands it now. For example, we talked about this recently. She's like, "I'm afraid," because she's like, "You're going to be too far ahead." And I'm like, "Danny," Danny,
Never too far ahead.
I've written so many poems for her, and I cry and I hide them. I don't want to show her yet. I'm like, it doesn't matter where I am.
She's
in
so
the river.
beautiful.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where I am.
She's so beautiful.
It goes to show how much I love you.
Beautiful, really.
Oh, you have to follow these rules to be spiritual. You have to follow this and that. I'm like, "Daddy, that's not what this is about. This journey, there is no rules. You just find happiness and deeper love." And she gets it, like we've become closer and closer, but like it came with spending a lot of time away. Like we were only able to grow away from one another because my growth was affecting her growth. So what am I, Danny?
What is affecting
My
her?
growth is affecting her.
Your growth.
Because naturally I'm saying things, and that knowledge is affecting her. So I can't. So I had to be, But now this fast has taught me, like, if I started to miss her so much. And I understand as soon as this fast is done, all I want to do is spend time with her and just do simple things. I don't really care. And I'm going to keep vlogging my experiences because
You know the truth.
yeah.
You know the truth in this place.
I don't want to share the unnecessary stuff that are just so deep and just like I want the stuff that's become honey to share. And that's why, like, in a lot of prophecies, they talk about the honey because that knowledge has to become honey for you to share with people. Otherwise, it's just something raw. If it's something raw, you don't share that with people. That's still something boiling within you. Don't share what's boiling yet. Let it cook and then taste it a little bit and then share it. So that's what I've learned. A lot of the time, you don't even have to say it. You just act it. You're just there. You told me this, I remember the first time I went to the drum circle, me and Raph in the car. It resonates.
What did I say?
You said, listen, when it comes to healing people, you're gonna reach a point where you don't have to heal people. They will just heal.
That's right.
Yeah. You just have to be next to them. You just have to be you.
Just
And I
like-
get it. You just find yourself and live life. Okay, there's things you need to try. Of course, like naturally, I do want a family. I do want kids with it.
The kids will just pop out.
Yeah, they
all of a
just pop
sudden
out.
it's like, oh wow.
You gotta put that.
That happens.
But it's ensure like some security and
Oh, true.
yeah. But I'm like also like I work out, but I make good money. But like I know that now, like the way things are happening and the people that I'm meeting and where I'm just being myself, things are really falling into place.
I know. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Again, I'm not trying.
You
I'm
don't
just
have to.
being myself.
Do nada.
Yeah, I'm doing nada.
Do nada.
It's incredible, Carlos.
In nada, there's everything.
I'm in awe, man.
It is in awe. So what happened to your court case thing? You got that. You told me in between a little
Oh,
while
yes.
ago. The judge really liked you. You just like.
So I'm going to court for the longest time.
Did you have to have a lawyer
The
or no?
people, the people that I work for, they put a retainer down. So I respect that they did that. They put 5,000 on a retainer, but the put a retainer down with Jack Lloyd, and none of this could be a coincidence as well. So Jack Lloyd is my lawyer. He's like a psychedelic activist. He's he's so driven, but with love and passion
Nice,
for what he
man.
does. Man, like it was just, it fell into place.
It's
Jack
perfect.
Lloyd really went out of
Meant
his
to
way
be.
to help me.
Meant to be. Yeah.
I work for this Italian family. I'm jobless, and after
Italian?
I've lost this job and I've gotten arrested, I'm jobless for a couple of months, and I don't know what to do.
You got another job.
But I've already worked in restaurants before, so I'm very experienced.
So you got some sort of when you're arrested, they let you go after a day, right? And then you got
a
a
couple
job.
months later,
2 months later.
I'm walking on College Street. I meet this husband and wife, and I'm smoking cigarettes because I'm so stressed.
May. That was May now.
This is like, when did I? This was, ooh, do you know what?
Because you told me March.
Ooh,
3rd, you got arrested.
maybe I didn't work for 3-4 months.
Huh?
Maybe I didn't work
Maybe
for
June.
Because I found that job around June.
So it's June, 3 months later.
I'm walking on College Street. They were nice, they're genuine. And then we had a conversation, and it was just them two, and it was just them two running the business. And she was the best Italian cook ever. So I got to eat the best Italian food.
Italian.
They didn't pay me for the longest time, and they didn't. They owed me a lot of money towards the end. They literally played me, and I was their hawker. I would bring customers from the outside in. I'd be the server because it's only me working, and I work the bar, and it's just me doing everything. You know, I loved the kids. They had sons. I cried with the man because I heard he might have pancreas cancer. Like I was attached.
You mean the father, the owner,
Yeah.
had pancreatic cancer?
It was interesting stuff. There's some stuff I won't go into like that happened with them there, but I loved them and they didn't pay me, and I was annoyed a little bit. But he got annoyed with me for asking for money. Like he was great. I was like, Peter, why are you annoyed with me? And I could see that he was just trying to throw the blame onto me. Anyway, I met someone at that bar, and his name was Paul. He was an older gentleman. He's 67. He's a Tai Chi master. He's a white man. He's a Tai Chi master. His dad was a doctor. He's good with acupuncture, so he has like his own clinic in his own house. He said, if you're ever looking for a place to work, come down to Bloor Street in Vienna. They kind of have your energy. They're very natural people, you know, because they're Albanian. For one, it's close to where we come from. We're mountain people, as they call Kurds, but we're not just mountain people. But Albanians, these guys are Albanians, but from the mountains. So we have a very close, just organic way of living. Like we're just all intuitive, we're just natural, you know. So as soon as I went there, we clicked, like, and the owners of that place are like family to me. So I'm blessed to be there. Like we take care of one another, you know. We're very natural. We don't have these interesting ways of being. We're just ourselves. We're organic. So I'm working there.
How long were you with the Italian
mean,
family? I got pancreatic cancer.
Apparently, he said he might do, but it was hard to believe him at the time. Maybe he was saying,
He
but
also
there was
didn't want to
something
pay
wrong.
you.
He was taking some stuff, medicine for that stuff.
He had
so-
issues.
Yeah. So, but
So only 2 months.
no,
August.
more than 2 months.
July.
Definitely around 5.
August,
There,
September.
I definitely worked there close to 6 months,
Oh,
6 to 7 months.
with December then.
Yeah.
And
I've
yeah.
never had such nice pizza because she was from Bari. They got these authentic Bari sausages. Her dad used to make bring the flour. She literally made the best pizzas and pastas I've ever eaten. It was incredible.
So were you still living at that place?
I was still living in Liverpool.
The -11 indoor
Yes.
refrigerator in the winter time?
I was still living there.
Okay. So now you've moved on to
Yeah.
by about December
Yes.
2020.
Yeah, actually,
By December
just before December,
2022.
it was around October, November. I moved there around October, November maybe. I'm not too sure the exact date. It was probably around November, because like a month or two later was Christmas, and they got me working the bar.
That's December 2023, October 2023.
Mhm.
By then, right?
Mhm.
Because you'd have been here for a bit already, 2023.
Yes, exactly.
Because the saga continues, right?
Yes.
So you've been there ever since. You're still there, as far as I
I'm
know.
still there.
December 2023, this Albanian owner.
Mhm.
December,
That owns
October.
a lot. They love me. I love them
Love you.
because I genuinely love them. Like, I don't let people talk behind their backs because I know what they're like. Like, of course, you know, people have their ways of being, but I understand them. I know how organic they are. They're very organic people. They're not complicated. They're not deep. You know, and I love that. Like my relatives are all like that, so I resonate with it deeply. They have similar traditions, so I'm working there. And Jack Lloyd, my lawyer,
Yeah.
is a local there.
Okay. But this is from El Pandino now to.
Yes.
This is in the meantime. You connect with Jack Lloyd somewhere in
I've
between.
already connected to Jack Lloyd.
You already knew him
in the
before that, right?
beginning.
They get
But I
go.
connected somewhere even close to.
This was
Yeah.
Jack Lloyd, probably representing them too, because they're probably on the.
Well, you know what
the
happened
gun.
with them? So
What?
they had another lawyer,
Uh-huh.
and then the police went into an investigation in the house because they're pretty much aware that it's them that run the business. But the police messed up on the investigation, so they had to drop all the charges on them. So everything falls down onto me. I'm everything.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's good too.
Of
You get
course.
all the drama.
I got all the drama.
You
I'm
get,
the
you
show.
get all the stories to
I'm
tell.
under the spotlight.
That's the best.
I'm under the spotlight.
There's no better way. This is the best. If you have to have a good charge, that's the best charge you can possibly get.
Charged with an organized drug, because they also
No, that's the best charge you can possibly get in this, right? Because at the end of it all,
the whole thing.
it's all gonna wash out to the place where they realize you were doing probably the best for those people.
Yeah.
You know, that's the charge.
So the prosecutors had to.
You don't want to get charged for, however, if you have to be
the
charged,
Crown
that's a
is
really good
pushing
charge.
it. The Crown is pushing it as if I'm the owner of the business.
Mhm.
And at one point I had to come to an agreement with the judge and say, yeah, I had to say that I'm guilty. And he said, but listen, if you're going to say that, we're still going to have to fight it, and you have, you know,
We still have to what?
we're still going to have to fight it, but this
Oh,
time
Jack Lloyd told you
yes, but we'll fight it as though you're guilty. But that also means that you might be doing minimum 2 years in prison. I said, Jack, we have to do what we have to do. Let's do it.
Yeah. And?
I got a bunch of references from people, being who I am. People wrote a lot of references for me. The judge was incredible. He was one of those ones that can see you as what you are. So, and also, I kind of got lucky because where I come from, Kurdish people, I live in Anatolia, because there's Kurdish is an ethnic group, and
Anatolia is Turkey, right?
Anatolia is Eastern Turkey.
But the whole area is called Anatolia.
Anadolu translates to the rising of the sun. We say do, and even like Italian people, they have the name Anatoly. It means, it actually comes from Anatolia. It means the rising.
Anatolia.
So, yeah, we that's the place where the sun rises. And it's interesting because the people that Alevis are Alev means flame. We're flame people. We're solus. And
So the judge sees you for who you are.
just sees me for who I am. The prosecutor turns out to be Armenian, and Armenians come from the same part of Anatolia. And anyway, it
They
kind
look
of,
at you and they say, okay.
and they know,
They
they
like
know. The judge gives me, he says, I have to charge you, but he dropped all the charges, but he said, I'll give you 200 hours community service and 3 years probation. So that's what I'm doing. I'm a psychedelic activist here.
No, you're an activist.
I was a psychedelic activist, so I'm an activist here. Yeah.
That's the best way it could possibly turn out.
Yeah.
You even have a rap sheet to show that you've taken a hit for the cause.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
I don't have to. I know I don't want to do something.
No, but that's what the universe wanted for you.
But I guess
on your
the universe
resume.
did, yeah.
No, it's on your resume. You're like you're like the Paul Stamets now. What the fuck? You gotta have a record of some sort, otherwise it didn't make any difference. You can't be an activist without a rap sheet.
No.
What kind of activist are you? A couch activist?
No. I went sleepless nights.
I know. I had a few sleepless nights. I know it's okay. All in retrospect, it's all good for you.
No, I didn't do anything I didn't love. I only did what I love to do.
And they all can see it for what it was. And now you know what? This whole thing is all those judges, they're not silly, they're not stupid.
No.
They all know this thing is just on the verge of an expansion.
You know what I get to do?
You know my hat? You know that hat I
Oh
wear?
yes,
that's called the psychedelic renaissance, right?
What's the name?
It's called the Frisian Liberty cap.
Frisian
The
Liberty.
liberty from slavery, the liberty from whatever, the big government. But really, this is the liberty from our own mind.
You remember what we found during our Nada session?
Yeah.
I kept seeing the sign like this. It was the CND sign, because the CND sign.
What's a CND?
The CND, the peace sign.
Oh, okay.
You know?
CND sign.
But actually, people think that means peace. But the CND sign actually symbols agony. But I kept seeing this, and I kept doing some research, and I was talking to ChatGPT. I was like, what should I name this? And I have a lot of Sumerian words with ChatGPT that I use during my moves, because Sumerian and Kurdish are like 60% related, not just in tradition, not in our stories, but in language as well.
What? Kurdish and who?
Sumerian.
And Sumerian.
Tradition, the land.
Oh, Sumerian is very ancient. Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's like ancient.
But like the stories we tell are Sumerian stories, like Gilgamesh and a lot of other stories. The Kurds tell these stories, and we have the same traditions, and we have 60% related in language, phrases. So I'm using
Sumerians. Wow.
when I'm using certain words, I use some Sumerian. Like I use the mother, Amma, Appa, father, and I use water, ki, land, which is air, Gibil, which is fire, and I use a lot of these words. And I'm asking ChatGPT, what can I call this sign? It's basically the CND sign inverted.
Why did you point it this way? Because that's usually this way.
No, it's not.
It's the other way. It's this way?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
you know, when it came out,
it looks like this.
when it came out in the 40s, it was an Englishman. You know why he came out with that logo?
Why?
Because nuclear arms became a thing. And he said, oh my God, that's it, we're doomed. That's why he came out with the CND, and he said, we're in anguish. It resembles a man going like this, saying, you know, we're fucked, because nuclear weapons are going to be the end.
It goes like this.
Yes. But I'm seeing the inverted version during my Nada session with us.
It looks like a bikini to me now.
It's about fertility, baby. It's all about it. Don't squander your energy. It's there for reproduction. You know, of course, if you're going to do it in a way where you're going to create something and produce something for the world. You know, a lot of these ritual people that do rituals, they know about this. But anyway, I'm asking ChatGPT, and I'm using the word Amma a lot. And I found this word, Amagi.
Amagi.
I've sent it to you. I've sent it to the group.
Amagi.
It's a Sumerian word.
Ooh, what does it mean?
It's the first word for freedom.
Wow, Amagi.
Ever. It also means renewal.
AMA.
And a GI.
AMA with a dash. Amag.
Dash GI.
Gi. Why the dash?
Because Amma is one word. Oh, Sumerian cuneiform is
Cuneiforms.
It's an intricate language sign. Like you can make a lot of words from one word. It's a very intricate system.
Wow, so
We're just learning that. Like I've been watching. There's a professor called Professor Erwin Finkel. I've sent you some of his videos.
Erwin
Finkel.
Finkel.
And he's the curator of the Mesopotamian Sumerian section of the British Museum in London. And he has hours of videos. Honestly, I don't get bored watching his stuff. Because the stuff that I've learned from him, and on witchcraft and doctors and how they interlink with one another, how they work together, and to do with psychology. I'm like, man, we need to learn some stuff from these guys. They knew some stuff. Like, but amagi was the word. Let's not get sidetracked, because I'm gonna go back to your hat. When I'm doing some research on amagi, and this sign was now called amagi, that's how it resonated. And when it happened, I actually cried. I was like, this.
Oh, it's called that?
Huh?
That sign in the cuneiform is actually a magi?
I'll show you this. So the picture, I sent a picture because I edited the cuneiform inside the sign, so you can see what the signs are. And it's like, they're like arrows with lines. But I also typed in that name, and there are these coins, and they're called the awakening coins. And on one side it says the awakening, it has the pyramid, Illuminati, or whatever you call it. And on the other side of the coin is the Liberty Lady. Guess what hat the lady's wearing?
What?
The psychedelic mushroom hat.
Yeah, it's true, the hat, right?
But it's the Liberty statue lady wearing it.
Yeah.
On a coin.
But yeah, the Liberty. Okay, on the coin.
Yes.
And this coin came from.
This coin is made in America, and it's called the Awakening.
Well, it makes sense. But
Yeah.
is it older than new? It's very ancient.
It's a new thing, but they're using an ancient word,
Yeah.
and it's called the Amagi coin, with the Liberty ladies.
But you came up with the word first.
I just discovered it
independently.
Yes.
When you look on it, you found this thing.
Yes, and you
get
were
it.
the same.
You independently came
they
back.
all connected.
I get it now.
I couldn't make it
so
up.
you independently came up with this word amagi, and then you went looking for it, and lo and behold, you find this. Somebody else
someone
is
who's
making
wearing the
a
hat.
coin with a hat and a coin and all that. So all this things coming together.
Yes.
It's just like blowing your mind, right? I
But
get
it
that.
did. Now I'm just like, it's just that. It is what it is.
And what about this fellow? What's his name? Lloyd something?
Jack Lloyd,
Jack Lloyd.
beautiful lawyer. He really went out of his way to help me.
So how do you pay him?
The retainer is all he wanted. He literally didn't want anything else.
So they paid him $5,000, and that's it.
And
all
then
he wanted.
he wanted me to, I kept asking him, I was like, listen, Jack, I don't have much money, but if there's some help you need, I can help you. But and then I started to work, and then I was like, listen, I can pay you, but Jack didn't want anything.
Now then he's genuine.
Yeah.
Right? Then you know. What's he work? Does he have another job somewhere?
No. He's like hard working. At that time, he couldn't find someone to work for him. He came from the airport to my last court case.
Huh? What do you mean come from the airport?
Like he just come from Montreal, and he just like he was always on the run. He was so busy trying to help people. He's that much of an activist.
Damn.
Yeah, man. Really going out of his way to help people. So.
He's one of those, what do you call him? Like a pro bono guy.
Yeah.
All pro bono.
Yeah, man.
He just gets enough to keep going.
Yeah.
Jack Lloyd, what a character.
You can find him online, man.
And he probably has a website.
He has a website. He's big on Facebook. He has a lot of stuff going. I need to go pee. Let me pause this quickly. So we've